Morning everybody. Thursday, September 24th. We're up here in the cornfield. Brought the wagon up to chop for the cows, and then I'm going to fill that 16-foot box and take that back and top off the silos again. And then tonight should get them covers here and we'll get it covered. Like I said, I didn't get any chopping done yesterday. That's just kind of how things went. And I'm still waiting to hear on that bagger once he gets his corn head on. He had been chopping some sorghum. A friend of mine has got the bagger. He got that done, so once he gets the corn head switched over, we'll get that chopped for him, and then I can get the bagger here and we can finish up. So anyway, that's what we're doing now. Like I said, I'm going to chop that for the cows. I'll get this fired up. I got to put some fuel in this tractor here, the 1256, and we'll go from there. We got a little rain last night, now my seat's all wet. A couple tenths of an inch, so not too much, but. Got my co-pilot with me today. It's a lot colder today. It was like 84 and humid yesterday, and it's 51 right now with a kind of a cool, wet breeze, so definitely a different change in weather. Alright, before I start chopping here, I was going to mention on this 1256 we had some comments asking if they hear a knocking sound, if the engine has a knock. No, it's not the engine, it's a gear noise right behind the clutch. You can kind of see, but coming from right in here. And that, about probably 15 years ago, we were chopping with this tractor, and there's a gear behind the clutch that broke and actually locked the whole tractor up. So anyway, we got it home, we ordered a new gear, put it in, and after we put that new gear in, it had a really bad whine when you would drive it, like a howl. So my grandpa's like, that's not right, something's wrong there. So we took it apart again, took that gear out, went back down to the dealer. They did some more research into it, and apparently there's two different kinds of those gears that have a 2-degree different pitch on the teeth. I mean, you had to look really close to see it. So anyway, and we had the one that's the uncommon one. So we got the new one, put it in, the howl and everything went away. But I'm thinking because we ran it a little bit with that wrong gear in there before we knew it was the wrong gear, I think it probably just changed the mesh a little bit on those. Something in there. It seems to me that after that is when that kind of ticking noise started, but like I said, that's been 15 years ago and it runs fine. Haven't had any issue with it, but yeah, it's not an engine knock. So anyway, I just wanted to kind of touch on that because I know it does sound like it's coming from the engine. But so anyway, we're gonna go chop now. Well, it's chopping here now. This side's doing good, but now that it's wet, I see this side is clogging up with some grass and stuff, so I'm going to have to take a shim out of this side now. But I know, like I said, on our gale head, it was kind of the same way, and it was always worse if it was wet. So I'm going to get that cleaned out and take a shim out of there. Alright, so what I did now, I got it unclogged. I got the PTO unhooked so I can work under here. Pulled this off, just this main bolt underneath. One bolt goes in the end of the shaft, right under this hub. This would be the lower disc. Then drop that down, And then there's these spacers in here, and you just take one of them out. Now these are pretty clear. When I did the other side, I had never done this before, and it looked like one spacer, so I took it out. While tightening it up, it was too much. Now these are supposed to rub together, but just lightly. So then when I looked again, I seen that it was too stuck together. They're not very thick. So, whoops. And that's how you get them apart. Just throw them on the ground. Keeps them nice and clean, you know. Now I'm going to get a rag and wipe them off and take one out and we'll put it back together. Alright, so there I got them apart now. I'll just put one back on and stick it back together, and I'll stick this one in the toolbox for later if I ever put a new disc on. So anyway, we'll stick it back on there and tighten it up. Alright, we got it on there. We got it tightened up, so now we'll go try it out. Made one pass down the field, and what a difference one shim makes. Clean as a whistle now, so should be good to go. This side's good now. This inside is the one I took the shim out to start with that I had trouble with, and that one's been good ever since. But this one I didn't have any trouble with until now. We got some rain and it was wet, so but now it's cutting good. Alright, got that chopped for the cows, got that big chopper box filled. I didn't unload it yet. I'm going to wait till I have help, just to climb in the silo and have somebody running it. So anyway, I'm going to run down now and get that transition piece that came in for the manure pump, excuse me. And the piece we've been waiting for that, so I'll go get that. And then I'm going to go pick up that elevator that I bought down at that consignment sale. So I'm going to get that done. Then we can top off the silos later.
I get nervous every time he climbs that silo. I'm sure he gets nervous too.
We're up in the silo by the barn now. Actually settled quite a bit from this morning. I'm out of breath climbing up here. It might take more than a load, but we'll, you can see this distributor has got plates here on each side that deflect it, one to each side and then one out the middle. And then this cover has the same thing. The lever down below, you can drop that down and raise it up out of the way. And this lever here, I can deflect it side to side. I'm not a big fan of heights, although I'm only 40 feet up. Probably half the size of most silos, but still a nice view. A really nice view would be over the roof, but I'm not climbing up there. bigger than that. Right down here by where the silo blower is, that's what that stump is from. That was probably one of my favorite trees on the place. It was way up taller than the silo. It was kind of neat, but that blew, we lost that in a storm a number of years back. I can pull this pin out of here. If I can get it out. Then I can direct one way or the other. Tie the fork on. I gotta climb in here and spread this out some, but I'll probably have to go chop another load. It settled quite a bit. This silo here, I'm gonna level this out and we'll run the rest of this load in. I'm not gonna cap this one tonight though, because it settled quite a bit yet. It'll probably take another load or two yet, but we are gonna cap that other one because that one hasn't really settled since last night. So but anyway, I'm going to shovel this out and fork this out and spread it out, and we'll run the rest of it up here. I don't have a good place to set my phone up here. The other silo I set it along the roof, but this one has gaps. You can kind of see how it spreads it out like 3 different ways. Alright, we got it pretty much full for now. Like I said, this one I'm going to wind up leaving it till tomorrow because I think it'll take at least another half a load, maybe a load. So anyway, we're going to go up to that other silo now in the pasture and put the cap on that and get that one finished up. But that was a big load. It took all that, filled it up nice. Alright, we got that done. My brother Paul blew some silage up here, and my brother Matthew came up and helped me. Got this spread out and sealed up around the edges, just with some silage. Kind of dome it up in the middle. This cover, it's got a little bit looser than I like, but it's a bigger cover than what I wanted for the silo, but they were out of the size I needed. But they still work pretty good. Last year I did have some trouble in this silo. I had rats that got up here and chewed some holes in this plastic, which I haven't had that happen before, and it did get a little bit of mold underneath it from that, but if these stay sealed, they really seem to help. I usually don't have much waste at all then. But anyway, we got it spread out and got silage packed around the outside, so it's sealed up good and it should be good to go. That big silo, I think it might take maybe 3/4 of a load. That's better. Morning everybody, Saturday, September 26th. Today we're not going to be doing much chopping. I got to go chop a load for the cows. And then we'll probably start, my friend Johnny, I'm getting a bagger from. He's going to pick up a couple bags today, and then I think I'm going to run over and help him finish up the bag he's on at his place and get a new one set up. Then he's buying my grandpa's corn, so we'll get that chopped and get done at his place, and then get the bagger over here to finish up our corn. So we will have some more chopping videos coming up, but I won't really have much today other than just a load for the cows. But I do have some bigger news here, something we've all been waiting for. It finally showed up. That's the transition piece that we need for the manure line. Actually, I kind of surprised me. The one that's in there, the original one, was plastic. Apparently they don't make those plastic ones anymore, so the company just went to making their own metal ones now, which is fine. That's good. So anyway, it's here. It's got the round, turn it here. I'm going to turn this camera around. It's got the round end here. The gasket end on the pipe will fit over this, and then the square end will slide over the end of the pump. And then he said to just drill a hole in on each side through this and through the pump pipe, and then put just a smooth-headed bolt through each side just to keep this in place when you're monking with it till you get it concreted in. But anyway, it's here. So now I am going to hopefully get some pipe here in the next few days. I actually called a place. They've got some. It's a little bit of a drive from here, so I'm going to see. I think there's a couple places that might be closer, but if not, I'll just run out there and get it. And then once we get this corn wrapped up, we can start putting this back together. So anyway, that's what's going on now. Alright, we're over here at the Gale skid steer. I had mentioned, I think before, that the studs for the wheel had broke off and the wheel fell off when I was coming out of the pasture. And I think what happened, from what I can tell, I put these wheel spacers on here last winter so I can have the chains on, because otherwise they won't fit for the tire chains. And I think what happened is the nuts had worked loose, and this was moving around, and it broke them off. Because on the back of this, I mean, there's the weight of the machine, but if you've got a big load in the front, that's actually taking weight off them. So I don't know that it was from the weight, but that's what I'm thinking happened. Maybe I'm wrong, but anyway. So what we're going to do, my brother Matthew's here now. I'm going to bring the tractor around. We're going to get a chain around this back corner someplace, so we can lift this corner up off the ground, and then we can drive it up so I can get it closer. Because what I need to do, these wheel studs, actually what they are is just a bolt, and they're tack welded on the back side. So I have two options: to either try to cut them off, cut the heads off and hammer them out and put new bolts in, or pull the axle out and replace the axle and get them out. That's kind of a nightmare to do, so I'm going to try taking a die grinder and seeing if I can cut the welds or cut the heads off and just put new bolts in and leave the axle where it is. So anyway, that's what we're going to do right now, is try to get this up to the yard so I can start working on it. Well, he just arrived. He's here opening up the field now, so we can get started. This is my grandpa's piece here. So we're going to get started, get this chopped off, and then get that bag done at his place. Then we can move over here. Alright, we got the plastic cover on the silo by the barn and got that sealed up. So this one's done. Now we can start chopping for Johnny tomorrow, get his bag done, and start bagging over here. Alright, well, the old Gale long hoppers put in another season. Did good this year again, so we'll get them, I don't know, maybe tomorrow if I get a chance. Otherwise, maybe when the corn's done, clean them up a little and find a spot to stick them in. But anyway, that's it for tonight.